What's up?
We have lots of people in already. Coyote, Renee, Shauna. Hey, hi, Rain. How is everybody?
What's up, everybody? I'm not seeing any of the chat. That stinks.
You don't?
No, it's blank. It says private chat, or maybe I should click live comments.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, Renee. Hey, Ozzy, Coyote.
There you go.
All right.
Perfect.
I'm starting to see it now. What's up? Sorry, I'm a little slow.
That's all right. I'm telling you, this platform, I was really impressed because it's a lot easier than I imagined it would be.
Yeah, I really like
Hangouts.
I like the split screen thing here. At least that's how I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
You know how Google Hangouts kind of did that whole back and forth thing? That was a little annoying. So
yeah. And we can set it that way if we wanted it to be that way. But I kind of like the split screen too, because then you don't have to worry about, is it on me? Is it on you? It's just always on. So
yeah. Hey, can we do something goofy? Can we do something goofy for a second? I'm gonna face this way, and I want you to face me in the chat. No, other way.
Other way.
Hi. Okay. I just had to get that. What's up, everybody that's just joining in? Hey.
Good. Hi. Good.
Nice.
All right. We got quite a few people. So we wanted to kind of start with, we did hear that you got to go to the Denver Gem Show, which I'm so jealous. So great. Anytime that's at a big city, I always am like, oh, that would be so great.
It was everything. We stayed at a hotel just right outside of where the convention center was. I guess the convention center Colosseum was kind of like the main area that they hosted it. And in that area, there was 5 buildings. 2 stories each, indoor, outdoor tents set up as well. And then on top of it, there were 4 hotels in the area that were also had 100, 200, 300 vendors at each hotel. So, I mean, it was nuts, guys. We stayed at one of the hotels that had the event going on. So we had, crystal and fossil vendors there as well. It was just a lot. It was amazing. And it was one of those, we spent 6 hours Friday shopping. We spent 6 hours Saturday shopping. And, by the end of your evening, your eyeballs and your brain hurt. Mama, I know you know what I'm talking about when you get that wonky, like, going on.
Yeah.
We spoke to one of the vendors and he's like, yeah, a lot of people say that's common. It's just your brain's just system overload, you're seeing colors and shapes and so many new things and your brain's just constantly processing all this stuff. And it's just like, whoa,
Absolutely. And the energies too. Now, are you a person that feels all the different energies from the crystals or no?
It depends on the crystal, but yes, and especially when it's all compact. I did a lot better when we were like outside in the tent areas and stuff, but especially when you're in the Colosseum or in one of the buildings and you're just crystals out the yin-yang. It's a lot of different energies going on in there, plus all the people that are adding to those vibrations and...
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. So I will say, let's say hello to everybody else. Hi, Lady Blind Wolf and Ben. And I saw Ravenheart. Hi.
Hey.
Absolutely. And I will say, I always tell my people, one of the things that we did at Tarot Stock is we had one of our small gem shows. And it's funny because I'm sure if you've never been to a gem show, even the small ones that are in one building, but there's, hundreds of dealers in one building and it can be a little overwhelming. So I always give them a couple tips of, what to carry with them. Do you have certain things that you carry with you when you go to something like that?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely had talked about it and come up with a game plan before we went to this. I will say this was the biggest show I've ever personally been to. Our game plan was kind of Friday was the look, listen, observe, take pictures, take some video, take notes. I mean, it's thousands of vendors, and when you go to this, like, if you have an idea of kind of what you want, that's good,
Yes.
And if you don't, whatever. But the thing is like day one, just take notes and mental, physical notes, and also take breaks often. Take time to rehydrate and refuel. You are literally walking 10 to 20 miles when you're used to walking 500 steps.
Right? Yep. I saw Ravenheart said water, water, water. And that was one of the tips too. Bring some bottled water.
Yeah. Bring bottled water. If this particular show, Sorry, Eddie's talking to me.
Right.
This particular show, they have like a lot of food vendors, so I kept stopping at like the lemonade stand and getting like fresh lemonade and fish tacos and like
all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of stuff. I'm like, feed me,
Yep.
Yeah. So day one was more chill in the sense of like, you're not going to pull the trigger on anything yet. You just want to look and observe and take note of the quality of the crystals, any deals that you may get, pricing. Really take time to kind of like network with a lot of the people. Day two, especially if you're planning on purchasing, go in with an appropriate carrier of sorts. I got like a big duffel bag from Ross for 15 or 20 bucks. There were some people there with those cool like fold out carts on wheels.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about. You started doing
I was just looking for mine. It's usually sitting back there, but I don't see it right now. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like the 2019 little red wagons,
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's what B said. Yeah, the little red rat.
That's right.
I can't talk.
I always have my bags. I carry bags because I'm a garage sailor too. I carry big bags in my car just in case. But yes, absolutely. And the little carts are awesome. I have a little blue one and it folds right up. So it's, just a little thing on wheels and then it comes down. People used to carry groceries, I think, with them, but that's not what I use it for.
Either way, I mean, they're a lifesaver. If you can get something with wheels on it. I mean, that was an oversight on our part, like, because we were buying way too much stuff. When you're carrying it around in the big duffel bag, eventually, like, your shoulders just giving in.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, my biggest tips are just like, take the first period of your time to really just look and listen and explore, and have fun, take pictures, do whatever you want to do, right? Make sure you refuel and hydrate your entire time. And then whatever the last little bit of your journey is, that's when you want to go ahead and be making the purchases because hey, that one vendor had, way better deals or way better quality and, just yeah, absolutely.
And I'll add to that. There's a couple things I always say. First of all, if you are a person that feels those energies, carry whatever works the best for you for grounding. Some people it's Smoky Quartz. Some people, for me, it's black tourmaline. Some people it's hematite. Some people it's obsidian, but I always say be careful. Obsidian is great. It's a great grounder, but it's also very harsh. So it is like it will wham you right to the ground. There is no in between there. So just be careful. I usually, if it's going to be obsidian, use mahogany obsidian or something.
Yeah.
The other thing is I always say, so you go around, at least it's hard with it. It's when it's a bigger thing where you have 5 different buildings. Oh my God, I can't even imagine. I would be dying.
Yeah.
Go around to every place in the building before you buy anything and look at everything. And I always try to say, pick out like 2 or 3 vendors that have a lot of things that you like. because then you can make deals with them a lot easier. If you go in and say, I want 10 things from you, what can you do for me?
I 1,000% agree with that, Mama. And another thing, just on that topic itself, especially any crystal shows, the majority of time you get the people that are the miners from that mine. So that is the only gem, mineral, crystal, fossil, whatever that they deal with. So typically they're the ones that you're gonna get the best deals from, or the best bulk deals at least, because they're like amethyst, that's all we do,
Yep, I can tell you everything about that. Yep, absolutely. Yes, yeah. It was in Denver. This was a huge, huge, huge show. For sure. Someday I will end up in Tucson. Tucson is my dream show. I would love to go there someday. Oh,
yeah, me too.
I win the lottery.
I had a question about that, Mama. And Raven, yeah, it was in Denver. So when I checked Denver's site, they boast on the site that it's the U.S. largest gem and mineral show.
Nope.
I thought Tucson was the largest.
It is by far. I think what they're saying too is Tucson is like the whole city. Tucson has several different areas that you go to, and you'll hear, like, I always follow Philip Permit. Philip Permit. I didn't bring his books up, but he's done several books. He's over in England, and he does some healing crystal books, and he goes every year. And if you follow his Facebook page, it's PERMUTT, I believe. He posts the most gorgeous. He's why I want to go to Tucson, because he posts these things that you're like, oh my goddess, that is just unbelievable. As tall as you, the Amethyst Towers, and they're just unbelievable.
Just
but there's different areas in Tucson, so they don't count that as one big show. They say that it's like broken up into little areas that, well, are not little, but there's so many at once and everybody goes at once. So Tucson's the biggest.
Yeah, I knew there had to be some sort of statistic. It's like, maybe it's the square footage of the building that something, but I'm like, I could have swore Tucson was the largest, but anyway.
Yes.
Let me put it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. But I can see with that many buildings and stuff, I'm sure it's it could be second or something. I don't know of any other one besides Denver, and there's one in I can't remember if it's Pittsburgh or Philadelphia that's very big too. And it's usually more towards like March or April, I think. Okay. But Denver is definitely right up there, top 5 at least.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely worth going if you guys ever get the chance to do it. 2 thumbs. I can't. Yeah, there we go. 2 thumbs.
I know. I do the same thing. Hey guys, so listen, if you have questions or anything, make sure you put them in caps for me, because I know chat is scrolling pretty fast, and I don't want to miss any questions that we have. Trying to see. And don't use woo-woo designer names for the rocks you're looking for. Thank you, Byung. Yes, I hate that. There are certain stones that actually have copyrighted names that are ridiculous. I won't mention them, but I will tell you that just be careful. Just know, or bring someone who does know what they're doing, so that you don't get taken by this. Oh, this stone is the only thing in, this. It's because you put a name to it. That's not actually something totally different. You just put a name to that. So
I gotcha. I'm following along now.
I lived in Tucson. You never went to the gem show? Oh, people, you get around too many people. I hear you. I hear you. And that can be an issue if you're a person that feels like that, especially if you're an empath.
Sometimes all I did, I kept like I said, when I would take breaks to like refuel, rehydrate, like I would literally go outside and just climb up a little hill by myself and just kind of get away from all the people and all the crystals, and kind of like just center myself again and sit in the grass and be like, okay, I can go back in now, so
we can do this. We can do this. Yes, absolutely. So Danny asks, what are your favorite crystals to raise energy with, both of you? So go ahead. I'll let you go first.
Honestly, I mean, I feel like to raise energy, I would say mostly like with the sacral chakras for me. So any of like the deep reds, like carnelian, works really well for me. I had to kind of think about that because a lot of them are very like calming and soothing, and that's actually personally what I need more of is like the anti-anxiety kind of stuff.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I know. I was just thinking that. It does depend because I have favorite stones too that are really super high vibe stones that I don't use very often because they're really super high vibe stones.
Yeah.
But, I love them. This is one of them. This is my favorite high vibe stone. This is pink Tibetan ice quartz.
Ooh.
And, it is extremely high vibe. You can see it's on like a thing that you're supposed to wear it around your neck. I have not yet been able to meditate with it more than 5 minutes, much less wear it around my neck. I've had it for 2 years. So I love it. It is awesome for bringing energy. But Mama Squirrel tends to, when I get too much energy going, and the people who are in tarot stock can attest to this, certain stones, I will get totally red and you get so much energy that I just can't. Nope, I can't do this. Put it back down. I'm not ready for this yet. I just
get really flustered, right?
Gets really, really hot. Yep. So I'd say other than that, like the ones that I work with all the time, blue fluorite for me that's my favorite. So this is my favorite blue fluorite.
Oh, they had so many nice specimens of those, and that is beautiful too.
I know it. That is just my jam. I love my blue fluorite. So I'm a big blue person. Blue kyanite. I love blue kyanite. Blue kyanite re-energizes, cleanses, and restarts all of your chakras. So it's really good to carry with you all the time. And lepidolite. Lepidolite for me, I'm an ADD brain, and lepidolite helps to keep me focused and calm and that kind of stuff.
Do you like the raw or the tumbled lepidolite?
I like both. It's easier to carry the tumbled.
Yeah.
But I love the raw, like the mica form raw.
Like the sheen on it and stuff gets so pretty. Yeah.
It's gorgeous. And it just feels so good. If you ever go, call ahead because getting motel to stay in is crazy. Oh, you mean at Tucson? Hell yeah, I know. I have people I can actually stay with, so. Or Mama will hand it off to someone else to burn up. Yes, that's true. I forgot I did that to you, Ravenheart. I was going to buy it, but it was making me really flustered. So I turned around. I'm like, here, can you hold this for a minute? Poor thing. He's like, what is this? Yep. That was bad. Hi, Tange.
Yeah, what's up, Tange? What's up, Wally?
Everybody. Hi, Gypsy. She came in. Hi, Jack. What's your favorite crystal shape? Well, that's a good question.
Go ahead.
I think natural crystal shape. I really, because blue fluorite is my thing, I really like when they grow in cuboids. I just love that it's interesting. Garnet does that and stuff.
Pyrite.
Yes, pyrite. So I love that kind of thing. I think unnatural, like carved, of course, would be scullies. I love my scullies.
You do love your scullies, don't you?
I do. I have another one that I'm paying for a little bit at a time already.
Oh, okay. Little payment.
Certain people know me, and they will actually send me pictures of ones that come in. And I have one dealer that sent me a picture in this gorgeous fluorite one, and it's got some blue and some purple in it, and I'm like, okay, you got me. A little bit at a time.
Ooh. I guess for natural shapes, I'm like you. I love those like square blocky, and that's why pyrite is like, and there's so many beautiful pyrite specimens at this gem show. I don't know. I think it's amazing at how like nature can design things like that. You know, it's
perfect squares and
like how the heck does that happen?
Pyrite suns too. Pyrite does that sometimes too. The suns.
Yeah. And carved. I tend to go with towers or spheres. I just love how it's perfect for kind of like radiating energy. And so a lot of the crystals that I use, I mean, I do purposely buy the crystal for the use, but I also just use it for a superficial reason and as decor in my home. I can't buy, but at the same time too, I know what this crystal does. And so like, I love to have it in certain rooms of the home and just kind of like channeling out that desired energy and vibes into the room. So I don't know.
Nice. So nice. Yes. I have to say, I started out with a lot of spheres. So I have a whole bunch of spheres, and this is terrible. I don't work with them very much. And I think part of it is because I'm a healer, I work with the body. And I found very early on that if you put a sphere on the body, it rolls off. So I don't do that very much.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, right? Wow. So I end up with cabochons or scullies that have a flat bottom or towers or something that I can set up around or set onto a person or.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm more so like anything that I'm like working with. I love a classic tumbled stone. I mean, it goes right in your pocket. It can even go into a shirt pocket. It can go into those little cage trap things as a pendant. I mean, they're just the perfect like take anywhere type crystal because you're not gonna just carry a big old geode on your shoulder,
right? Well, you could, but I don't know. I'll tell you, I of course have my bag that I carry with me every day that has rocks in it. And I have had people pick up my purse and go, "Oh my God, what do you have there?" Rocks.
Rocks.
Yes, I do.
That's what I always tell TSA too, when they're like, "What do you have in your bag?" Because I always TSA, for some reason, they get really shitty about pointy, sharp objects and holy water and brick dust. I don't know why they're so weird about that.
I know, right? Jeez, what the heck? Jack is asking, does Papa Squirrel have scullies? Do you have scullies? Do you do scullies?
Actually, no, I don't.
We'll have to get them, guys.
I had one once back when I had a retail business 3.5 years ago, and it was like a dragon's blood jasper skull, and it was really cool. It was really hard to part with. And it was one of those situations where I priced it so that it wouldn't sell, and then it
did.
And I'm like, okay.
Now I have to.
Yeah, now I have to. But I really, I don't really gravitate to a lot of like the carved shapes like that,
Right. Yep.
Like the ones that have like I don't know. They do all kinds of odd stuff now, like the anatomic hearts or the Indian faces with the feathers. Any stuff like that. I mean, I think it's beautiful and it's a work of art, but I just don't really vibe with them. I don't know.
Yeah, I get that. Sometimes it's like you said, if you're going to use them, and because I do a lot of work with crystal skulls, then I use them. But I can see I don't use. I have. I didn't realize I have cabochons in this, but this is all the cabochons that I have. And I like them because they're flat on the bottom and stuff, but I don't make jewelry so this is it. I have, the ones I need for healing stuff, and that's it.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, they're good. Like you said, if you're laying them down flat on bodies, I mean, excuse me, that's perfect for that. So
yeah, absolutely. All right. Who wants to start seeing crystals?
Ooh, pick me.
Yeah. Yay! Let's start showing some. Come on.
Okay. Let's start with like the more common stuff, shall we? And then work into the little more exotics. By the way, did you notice I'm wearing a pink shirt today in celebration of all
Yay! Pink.
But
I know I have some. It's a little pink, peachy pink, but it's
yeah,
pink.
you do. That's good. That's good. Don't pay attention. I spilt some gelato on my shirt after dinner.
Gelato. Oh, you had to say it. I hit 40 and I became lactose intolerant.
Oh no!
And I haven't had it since. It's like a crack. Please, can I have a look? Nope. How much do I want to suffer? Nah.
You're like, no, not really. Okay, well, I'll stop talking about my gelato experience then. So, I'm gonna preface by saying that we don't have like lighting in the living room area, so if it's hard for you guys to kind of like see the colors, I will happily move the laptop into the kitchen where it's like light. So yeah, anywho.
So let us know if you see it.
Yeah, let us know if you're like, hey, I really can't check it out. And mind you, I'm on my laptop, so I'm doing my best. So I did the first crystal. I've got some amethyst.
Ooh, look at those gemmies.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Earlier when I was talking about like going to directly from the mines, this one is from a mine in Uruguay. For those of you that don't know, Uruguay is, I don't know if they're the only place, but they're definitely the place in the world to pick up like the richest purples of amethyst, which personally I more so gravitate to. And Mama, I know you know a little bit more about this stuff. This is why it's a perfect collab to talk with you about it. What difference do you know, or do you feel a difference between kind of like the lighter purples or the darker purples?
Absolutely. Now, I'm going to preface this as usual. All my peeps will know this, that what it does for me isn't necessarily what it does for you, but you know, there's some general aspects of stuff we can talk about. So it can do different stuff for you than it does for me and for everybody else, because the crystal has its own energy and we have different energies. So when it gets together, it's going to be a little different for everybody.
Yeah.
Having said that, now, the darker the purple, purple is a spirit color. So we're talking about third eye and crown chakra. We're really talking about the darker the purple, the more, for me, I always feel that psychic connection more with dark purple. In fact, black amethyst, dark purple amethyst. Yes. Oh, pizza. Purple pizza. Yay. Definitely a huge spiritual connection with that. Psychic work, connecting with your guardians and your guides. That always helps. And amethyst is fiercely protective. It's a stone that will kind of wrap you in. Yeah, amethyst makes me happy. Exactly, Shauna. It will kind of wrap you in like a warm, fuzzy blanket and make you feel like, okay, nothing. It's okay. You have one of those days that everybody seemed to be on you for everything, that everybody kind of, you know, gang rushed you with stuff. You weren't quite getting anything right, whatever. That is the stone to come home to. A lot of people have it right next to their bed at night to sleep with.
I was getting ready to say, so I personally keep amethyst not only in the bedroom for just soothing, calming, good night sleeps, but another good place to keep amethyst, or at least this is what I do, is in the bathroom, because especially like if you have a tub and want to take a bubble bath and kind of unwind or whatever, relax, take a shower, having amethyst in the bathroom is kind of like the same thing. So those to me are my two main spots.
Yes. The other thing that people, not everyone knows about, is that amethyst can personally repair holes in your aura. So when you have shadow work to do in your aura, sometimes there's holes in your aura that you can release energy that you don't know you're releasing. So you wonder why you're doing all this spiritual work And it seems to like, oh, it's great that night. And then by morning, it's, I don't know, what did I do? That's because you have some kind of hole in your aura that has to be healed. And amethyst is one of the stones that can personally heal that aura. It heals up the aura like there was never anything wrong with it. So that's a big deal.
That's nice. I've also heard that like amethyst is really good for like artists and creative people, and that it's like a good place to put like in your workspace because like it helps with like creativity and stuff as well.
Absolutely, for sure. It's one of my favorite for doing third eye work too. It's an all around. It's really good for a lot of people. ADD. Any purples, again, lepidolite is the one that I connect with the most for my ADD, but amethyst is another good one for ADD because it helps to calm, it helps to clear everything, and it helps you feel protective. And one of the issues sometimes with ADD is that you feel like everybody's looking at you all the time because you're not the same as everyone. And so that kind of helps to make you feel protective and safe.
Yeah, most definitely. Hey, I do want to say, guys, that I kind of mentioned this earlier about like the taking the time, shopping around, networking, yada, yada. All of the crystals that I have here today, I personally handpicked to bring home for you guys. So all of these crystals that I'm showing today are for sale. I don't want this YouTube to turn into a live like, hey, bidding war type thing, but please go ahead. If you're not already following me, follow me on Instagram at Pappa Squirrel's Nest or on Facebook at Pappa Squirrel, or you can just click to my YouTube channel and my email is on there. Anything that you see here that you guys may want, message me on one of those three areas, Instagram, Facebook, or email. I'll be more than happy to send you guys pictures and or videos of the specimens and so forth. This is kind of just showing off some of the best finds that I found at the show that I wanted to share. So
absolutely. And I will say, pause. I just want to see, because I think your links are in the info, but because I tried to put them in there, but I'm not sure because I'm not on the YouTube thing. Hold on. Yes, your Facebook and well, your Instagram didn't come up as a link, but it's there.
Okay. Well, I entrust that everybody in this chat room and that watches this is smart enough to figure it out without a direct link. But
that's right.
Yeah, if you see anything today that you want, just hit me up and I will send you more better videos, better pictures and stuff. Because I know I'm here in the dark and
right. We need to see it. Absolutely.
So another kind of common crystal that I picked up is selenite. So I got these. I know, isn't that pretty? And they're like a decent sized chunk of selenite here. So nice. I personally love selenite. It's great for like cleansing and protection. I use selenite for two things. One, the towers I picked up purposely because I love to put these in the corners of my house because I create like a protection grid essentially. Or if you have like a selenite wand, I love to use that like before meditating just to kind of cleanse the chakras, to kind of calm myself down and center and so forth. But yeah, so I've got 5 of these little towers. They're $3 each or 2 for $5.
Gorgeous. I love the towers. You gotta love the towers. So I'll tell you a couple things. First of all, again, selenite, very protective. It's great for energy work, for gridding. I love putting a selenite tower in the middle because it just amplifies, like quartz, it amplifies and cleanses any energy that's in there. So I'll be honest, for me, I'm not always great at cleansing all my stones, which when I bring them home, I've told you guys before, I have a big bowl of salt and I put my stones from the day into my big bowl of salt. And that's all I do until it's the full moon or the new moon or something. And then I kind of pull a little bit at a time. I mean, with my collection of stuff, I can't ever put them all out, but a little bit at a time. Selenite, though, is one of those that cleanses all the stones around you. So if you put a selenite tower in the middle of a grid and there's a stone that you add to it that maybe you didn't really cleanse quite after you used it the last time or something like that, that selenite will cleanse all that energy and make sure that it's working correctly and there's nothing else.
Are y'all listening to this woman? She is very knowledgeable about this stuff. Y'all, I should be taking notes. I know. Like, that's good. That's good.
It took me a long time. And I try to tell people, because people say, oh, you know so much. It's just study. It's just study. It's just pulling them out. It's just working with it. And sometimes I don't say the same things that I don't say. So like, I'll tell you, I've said before, my favorite crystal book is Judy Hall is the master, of course. But my favorite one is the Encyclopedia of Crystals. And this is the older version, but I love it because it has different color guides. So you can go to, okay, I have a purple crystal and I don't know what it is, or I have a green one. I don't know what it is. And go by color, which really helps when you're a beginner because you're like, oh, I know. I thought that was that, and that's not that.
Mama, Ozzy had a question about, does amethyst work the same for ADHD?
I wouldn't say it works the same as lepidolite, you mean, Shauna? It's not the same as lepidolite, but it does work with ADHD. It helps to calm. It's not so much the focus, but it's more the calming and the protection of, like I said, sometimes when you're ADHD, your problem is that you feel, not your problem. I shouldn't say that. I have it, so it's not a problem. It's just a unique thing that you feel like you're different from other people, and you process energy different. You process what's going on differently. So you kind of feel like everybody's looking at you thinking one thing or another, and that kind of helps you to put a shield up. It helps to feel like a warm blanket is around you, and you're okay. Whatever you're doing, it's okay. It calms you down. It lessens that anxiety level.
Yeah.
The other thing with selenite, and I have to say, selenite charges everything. I have social anxiety is a common morbidity with ADHD. That's right, Jack. You're learning, sweetie. I love my Jack. So I have a couple different selenite charging plates. And selenite is really good for charging your stones too. So it not only cleanses your stones, but it will charge them up. And I have a couple different plates that I put different stuff that I know I'm going to be using soon. So if I have a client coming over and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I cleansed everything right. I know I'm going to work with this, and this. We're working on sacral chakra or something. I'll put the stones that I'm going to use with them on that. It can work the same way with towers if you do a grid with them. So you put the grid around and put that selenite tower in the middle, and the energy flows through and helps to cleanse everything, charge it, and get it ready.
Yeah, that's really good. Because, I mean, selenite is the only crystal that really doesn't absorb any energies. So it's not absorbing any negative energies or anything like that, which is why selenite never needs to be cleansed. And that's why it's perfect for all of these things, like to cleanse your crystals with, to protect your home, to cleanse your aura field when you're ready to meditate, all this kinds of stuff. So
absolutely,
it's a good crystal for sure.
Jack says, I really like peach selenite. Me too. I'm with you. One of my favorite palm stones is my peach selenite, because it's just a little hint gentler. Just a little.
So let's move on to another crystal. We got a few more to get through, and I don't want to be here all night. I know it's late on the East Coast too. So
my people love this.
Okay. Well, sure. Everybody's like good. So I picked up some ginormous rose quartz palm stones.
Ooh. Those are gorgeous.
Love my rose quartz and these things. Oh my God. The camera's kind of backwards, guys, so I'm trying to figure this out.
I hear you. I do the same thing. It's totally different from your phone when you do with your phone.
Right. So either way, these are some tumbled palm stones, rose quartz.
Beautiful.
These are great for self-love and just love, unconditional love in general. For me personally, there definitely are a softer energy. This
For me,
is
it's
like very relaxing, calming, soothing. And some of them, and I know for sure you can't see with this light, but some of them are more of like a lavender hue to them. So some have like the pinkish rose, and then some are like a little bit of the lavender rose
as well. So
those are 8 each or 2 for 15 for anybody.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So I love the look of rose quartz. If you know me, you know rose quartz doesn't do anything for me for some reason. My energy just doesn't mix with it. But for most people, rose quartz is all about the love, unconditional love, making you feel like you have love in the air. So if you're one of those families like me, I do have rose quartz in the house, and it's usually because I have 4 boys. So I try to keep it around so that everybody loves each other all the time. The lavender rose quartz, if you get some that's a little bit that darker color, that helps to connect your, of course, you know, you're working with your heart chakra. That helps to connect your heart chakra and your third eye, which helps a whole lot to open up that connection.
Oh, I like that. I didn't know that. Kristen made an interesting point. She said, my 5-year-old daughter loves rose quartz. When I was doing like a little reading before we got on, it was even suggested because of like the calming factor, that it's really good to put in your children's bedrooms to help them in aiding in sleep and good dreams as well. So that's really good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's funny. I'm terrible because I don't recommend rose quartz all the time because, you know, if something doesn't work for you very well, you're like, whatever, it should work for you. But for most people, it does do that. Absolutely. Cool. And I have heard good things about definitely children and pets too. It's a good one to keep. They even have collars now with the little cages in the collars. And it's a good one to keep around your pet's collar too.
Jack, you said my audio is sounding weird. I did move the laptop, so I don't know if it's sounding okay on your end now.
It sounds okay to me now. It was a little bit, but I think it's because you moved it a little.
Okay. My bad. Sorry, guys.
It's all right. Is everybody else hearing it okay?
All right. So for the universal, what I call the Swiss Army knife of all crystals, I had to pick up some regular quartz. Yay! So I picked up these Quartz Towers. They range anywhere from $12 to $18 for these. And quartz for me is always just, I mean, it's like the multifunctional tool. Like it does. I mean, Mama, is there anything that quartz like doesn't do? I don't know.
It is. And quartz is the one. Quartz is the one that there's always one thing, right? It's in stones, it's quartz. If you don't have the stone of the energy you're looking for, quartz is one that you can make it do what you want. You just put your intention into it and it takes that and amplifies it. So quartz is the ultimate amplifier. It's the stone of power, they call it. And that's because, and that's why so many people use it in the middle of grids and stuff, because whatever you put around that, it amplifies it and makes it that much more powerful. So you can make it do exactly what you want. You put your intention into it, you tell it to go do its thing, and it does whatever you want.
Yeah.
The one stone.
I like to use them for. That's why I picked up the towers. Again, when you guys asked me earlier, I love the towers. So what happens is all of the energy, and especially when you're doing grid work, like you were talking about, Mama, it's just sucking in all of the energy from the other crystals and shooting it up and out into the room. It's setting the intentions, like you were saying. Also, if you do any sort of spell work or any craft work, you can also use this as a wand because it has a point. So you can use it as a wand. It's kind of like the same thing, but it's a quartz. Who doesn't love quartz? I mean, you gotta
all around everything. Absolutely, it does everything. I always think of so I'm a big geek. The dark crystal. Oh, I could not wait. I watched the whole thing. I absolutely loved it. I always think of the dark crystal when you see all the energy go into the dark crystal, and then that big purple shoot of energy and light comes out of it. That's quartz. It's totally quartz. That's what it is. That's definitely what it is. It's the dark crystal.
Hey, Ozzy, like I said earlier, please just go ahead and message me on Instagram or Facebook. Because like I said, I'm just going to get too caught up in this. And I will gladly send you pictures, videos, and let you know like the exact pricing of anything that you may be interested in. So I'll catch up with you after the live chat. Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to repeat that.
That's okay. So crystals in Britain are very expensive. Is this because it has to be imported? Boy, I don't know. It's hard for me to say. I'll tell you that about 90% of crystals don't come from the US though. So it's not like we don't have to import them. It may be that you're not finding the right buyers yet. I know I have some connections in India, and that might be a little bit easier, although I don't know, with the Brexit deal, good luck. I think you're kind of screwed, but
I was just going to say, I think the U.S. just has that type of economy. So all of the miners that are typically, I mean, South America and India are probably the biggest producers of any of the crystals, and Africa too. Okay, but everybody's coming to America. The miners are coming to Tucson, to Denver, you know, to bring these crystals in. So maybe that's why we get them at better prices. I don't know, because shipping does stink. Selkie. Yeah. It does.
It's awful. No matter where you're at now, it's awful. Like I said, I have some really good dealers that are in India, but if it's going to Britain, I'm sure that the shipping will kill you.
Jack asked me if I had any crystals that surprised me when I got them. Yeah, actually, I'm saving the best for last because it was. You know, I don't know if you've ever heard the saying, like, or at least this is what I'll tell people that are interested in crystals or getting new into it. And you go into the crystal store. One of the things I say is like, just go to what you gravitate to. And there's always a reason, whatever it is that they're picking out, there's always a reason that they are picking out that particular stone. And for me, this last three I'm going to go over were just like, I was immediately drawn to these, and I'm like, I've got to bring these home, you know? So
yes. Oh, and go to what you gravitate for sure. That's great advice.
Yeah. So also in the spirit of towers, I got some Smoky Quartz towers. I know. So this is the big one that I got here. Now I love Smoky Quartz, but I'm not gonna lie, Mama. Like I love it for superficial reasons. I just think they're really pretty. So do you mind elaborating on?
Yeah. So all right, Smoky. Smoky is gorgeous. I don't have enough Smoky. I have what do I have? I have a sacred geometry set of Smoky and stuff. And I have some Smoky citrine and I have some Smoky quartz, but I don't have a whole lot of towers and stuff. And I don't know why, because I love Smoky quartz. But what it does is it does the same thing that quartz does in that you can program it to do whatever you want. The only thing is, I don't want to say it's better than quartz, but because it has some of that either termalated energy in there or iron, or there's a couple different things that can make it have that smokiness to it. It's also a grounding stone, which quartz really is not. You can make it be a grounding stone, but it is a grounding stone.
That's why I like it. Because I like a lot of grounding stuff.
Absolutely. And it connects from your root chakra up into your solar plexus chakra. So all the lower chakras, it connects together and allows them to work together that much better.
Nice. I love them because they're super pretty, especially like they had some of the freeform clusters that are almost like black, you know, it was like that really deep. And not very many people had them, but the ones that did had some real high quality specimens that were really out of my budget. So,
Woo, yeah. Now I will tell you, there's a trick to smoky quartz, though, and I will tell. And I too, I am drawn to the darker the smoky quartz, the better. But you have to be careful. Smoky quartz is one of those things that dealers can't, not dealers, I won't say it that way, that shamsters can take a quartz crystal and make it a fake smoky. And that's, they radiate it.
Yeah.
And so there's a difference. There's a way to tell. And I was trying to find, I have an actual radiated point that I bought just to show the point. But of course, I don't think I have it up here. It is sometimes that real super dark black. Go ahead. That real super dark black quartz is radiated. And it'll be very, like, you can tell if it's really black. It's not at all see-through at all. It's super black. That's radiated.
I was telling Eddie about that. I'm like, you need to watch out for like black quartz and also that green quartz. I don't know what they're calling it, but I'm like,
spirit quartz or something. That
whatever it is. And I mean, like, I'm not knocking it. Everybody likes their own kind of stuff, but just for me, I'm like, I tend to kind of like stay away from that kind of stuff. But hold on, I'm sorry, I'm just grabbing my stuff and moving over to where it is light so you can see a little bit better. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm almost done, guys. Almost done.
Yeah. Hold on, Claire. I was drawn to black obsidian a few months ago. I carried it around for a few months. That's good, Claire. And absolutely. And, and like I say, I always say before I start, everybody has different energy. So what it does for me is not necessarily what it does for you. But obsidian is one of those stones that is very... it works very fast. And for me, it's too fast usually. It really, might as well whack me over the head with it pulling me down to the ground, which is okay sometimes. But I tend to do it. I'll get rainbow or gold sheen or mahogany or something that just makes it a little bit more gentle.
It's like drinking pre-workout at first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
You're just like,
a little bit too harsh. Yep.
All right. So this next set, you mentioned India, so I wanted to go over these. Is Apostolate? Am I pronouncing that correct?
Apostolate.
What?
Apostolate. The PH is a F. Apostolate.
Apostolate. So I got the Apostolate straight from the mines in India. And the gentleman, Eddie, what was the guy's name? He forgets. I forget. I'm not good with names. So I can't keep it in camera. Why is this so difficult? So the gentleman had multiple booths, not only in the hotels, but at the main convention area, inside and out. But he is a miner in India who actually has the only crystal museum in India.
Wow.
So I got a few specimens from him, and they range from $28 to $65. But I loved like the soft pastels and like, I'm trying to keep
green. Is that green in there a little?
Yeah, it's like a turquoisey and salmony, peachy, soft colors. I love these, and I love too how they can form like the cube shapes, but then also they form like this, which is similar to the last piece I showed. Sorry, got too much going on in the camera at once.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, just beautiful pieces.
They are gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. So do you know what apostolate does?
I know for me it has kind of like a calming, soothing effect.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if maybe it's because of like the color that I'm getting, like the softer pastels. I don't know. I mean, what let's ask Mom Wikipedia over here.
Well, apostolate traditionally is for psychic work, like, and not just that, but psychics use it a lot. It will help with astral travel. It helps to connect and communicate with your guides, with your guardians, people who I always talk about angels. For me, just means guardians, so I don't use that word a lot, but people will say it connects you to your angels. The astral travel stuff, I don't know how to describe it, but it also allows you, like my Scullies. I've talked before about how I believe that some of the Scullies have connected to other realms. Apostolate is one of those crystals that connects you to another realm. So you're not getting just the psychic energy from this realm, but you're getting it from other realms too. Enhances psychic vibes. There you go, Danny. Yes. Absolutely.
And Ozzy, yeah, I am on Mama's page. I think we made several posts. So I'm pretty sure that it tagged my social media, Pappa Squirrel. If not, if it shows up under as Brian Willis, then that is me as well. So just look for the latest posts that have me tagged in it, and you can follow the breadcrumb trail to me.
Absolutely. So the other thing is with the more colored apostolate, especially green. For me, I have my apostolate. Well, I have a couple, but mine is a green. I don't know if you can see that it's green. Again, my light isn't always the best either. It washes me out. But
yeah,
that pastel-y kind of color, that does a lot with your heart chakra, because now you're connecting from other realms. How do you know and remember all this? I don't know. It's what's important to you, right? You remember what you like and what's important to you.
Be smart. I mean, there's a lot going on in that squirrely brain of hers. I'll say that.
That's why they call me a squirrel, though. I have too much going on up there. So, but the green especially, but the pastel colors, they can connect from your heart chakra to other realms. And so it provides an ability to forgive stuff from your past lives that you may not even know you have. And I know we brought something up about that recently, last night or the night before or something, that forgiveness, sometimes you don't even know what in shadow work, when you do shadow work, what you're pulling out. But apostolate is able to connect to whatever that is, be it in this life or in another life, in a past life, and help you to forgive for that, whatever it is that you're not able to even know sometimes what it is.
Ooh, very interesting. I like that. Yeah, actually, this is the first apostolate.
Apostolate.
Apostolate. This is the first apostolate I've ever handled or had. So if you guys don't want any of it, I will happily put this around the house. I'll say that much. And Laura Conarius, I'm so bad at pronouncing stuff. Pat. Just Pat. Well, that was a lot easier. Why didn't I just say Pat? I got you. Hold on just a second. Sorry. Okay. So another crystal actually that I had never actually, I'm not going to say I'd never seen it, but I had just recently been seeing posts, throughout the crystal interwebs on Instagram mainly, and had caught like a few glimpses of these. So when I saw it at the gym show, of course, I was immediately drawn to this. And if you guessed its color is pink, then you are correct. This is pink halite. Am I saying that right, Mama? Halite?
Halite, but yes. Oh, that's a gorgeous piece.
So I'm hoping that Is this too washed out? Does this look white to you guys? Because I swear this is pink.
A little bit, but I can tell that it's pink. I don't know if you guys can, but absolutely.
It's
a very gorgeous piece.
Yeah. And one thing that I learned about pink halite is that it is found near oceans. Salt and water helps to create kind of like the geometric shapes that are within pink halite. So this is a crystal that you do not want to get wet because any sort of water or moisture will disintegrate it. So I have 2 of the pink pieces, and then this one, as you can see, is more of like a lavender hue to it.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
Yeah, so I had to get this one too because I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. Sticking with my pinks and purple tones. So
that is gorgeous. Hell yeah.
What does this do, Mama?
All right, so I'll tell you. First of all, you're right. It happens near oceans and stuff. The pink color, I always think, now will this turn people off? But you have to remember that this has, because it's salt, it is now cleansed. Don't forget that after I tell you this. But the pink color comes from a bacteria that is in different algae.
Oh, cool.
And so that's what turns it pink and purpley and that kind of thing. But it's beautiful. And of course, by the time that all that salt gets into it and stuff, it kills the bacteria. So it's not alive anymore. But that is caused from a bacteria from certain kinds of algae. But it's gorgeous, right? First of all, halite in general, because we're talking about salt. And so what do we in the metaphysical world, what do we think of as salt? Salt is cleansing.
Ooh, that's a good one. And protection.
Protection and cleansing. Yes, absolutely. Because it has pink, now we're talking about heart chakra protection, heart chakra cleansing. Again, this is another one that you can work with when you're having heart chakra issues to cleanse out any of the crap that you've been hanging on to. You had bad relationships. You had relationships that maybe you stayed in a little bit too long, and it just kind of broke some of those pieces in your heart. That will help to cleanse and to protect it, help to heal. Lots of healing stuff with that pink halite.
This is another one. If you guys don't want any of these, I will happily keep them.
That purple pink is gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh God, it is. I will say they are fragile. They're not so fragile that you can't handle them. If any of you guys are worried about shipping, don't worry. I bubble wrap the heck out of these things and pad it. I shipped one recently to Australia, and it made it there perfectly safe. So you don't have to worry about that. What you have to worry about is making sure you don't get it near any water, because that would not be good.
And I'll tell you too, if you have cats and dogs, be careful because they're drawn to the salt.
Oh.
And they lick it.
Oh, I wouldn't even
and stuff. And it's okay when it's a salt lamp.
Crystal. Oh my God.
Yes. So mine, when I have mine, I don't have pink, but I have regular white that crystallized and is beautiful and stuff. I have it in a glass dome because my cats will lick it. So wow. Be careful about that. And your salt lamps and stuff, be careful with that too. Now with that, I don't care. The cats lick the salt lamps. Big deal. They're not going to lick it enough to make the salt lamp go away, but it changes it a little.
But they might try.
So. Right? They will try for sure. Yep.
You got to shut it down. You got to shut it down.
Not that I would, but what power would it be to make into black salt? Really, Pat? You haven't heard this? I make black salt every month. Every month I make black salt. And my black salt, when you make black salt, you do it. I burn my intentions from my Reiki basket, which every month I put everyone's intentions into my Reiki basket. And on the new moon, I burn my Reiki basket intentions, and then I put it into the salt, and it makes healing and protective salt.
That's nice. I was going to say ashes or charcoal, right? That you can use. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Okay. Yep.
Cool. All right. So last crystal, I've got 12 12 of these guys here, and this one is my favorite for sure. It's my favorite because they're so like, I don't know, just the shapes that these come in, and the different colored tones that they come in as well. Just a really, really, really cool. I did have to like look this one up. I got emotional balance, increasing intuition and clarity, opening the heart chakra, and good with like lucid dreaming. Again, I don't know if this is something to do with the pinks and softer pastels that have kind of like a calming effect for me, but I was immediately drawn to, drum roll, pink amethyst. So we have some that are like pink, and yeah, you get they all come in like the geodes, so they're all like palm style shape, and it kind of ranges from the $20 to $50 mark depending on the crystal, but then some of them come in more of a reddish tone.
Ooh, pretty.
I don't know if it's, maybe if I put something white behind it.
Yeah, that helped.
You kind of see the more peachy kind of red. I don't know. I am a guy, so maybe I'm kind of colorblind too, but I do know there's a difference in color. And then some of which, Eddie didn't particularly like these, but I kind of like the ones that have the gray and peach in them, which is kind of really interesting. Cool. I'm wondering if I can. So what do you know about pink amethyst? I'm going to move around, guys, and see if I can get a better backdrop to show these off. You may not see my face, but nobody wants to look at that.
So Renee was saying she sees lucid dreaming assistance. Absolutely. That is definitely one of the things that pink amethyst can do. They say definitely leave it on your nightstand because it does help you to remember your dreams better too. Oh, that is gorgeous. Oh, we can totally see that color now.
Can you see that better? Because it's hard for me to see the camera. So this is more of the purple. Again, here's more of the redder ones.
Yeah.
Is that any better?
Oh, that's way better. Yep.
It's all the backdrop of the thing. And then some of them kind of have the grays and reds and pink.
Yes. That is gorgeous.
Okay. So don't interrupt. I was trying to get it to show.
No, absolutely. That is gorgeous. So it's definitely one that you want to keep in your space, in your sleeping space, because it's really, really good for remembering your dreams and allowing loving dreams. So it's a good one for if you're having, the nightmares and stuff, that will help that. Hi, Katie. And by the way, hi, Hexen. I did see you in there, honey.
Hey, Hexen. Hey, Katie.
It has loving energy. It will connect your third eye and your heart chakra. This one. So the lucid dreaming is an absolute because it helps to remember those dreams, but it connects your psychic energy to your heart chakra. So you have not only lucid dreams, astral travel while you sleep, but it brings out some of those loving dreams, which I don't know about you guys, but I don't have a whole lot of loving dreams. Not that I have nightmares or anything, but I have weird, I don't know, normal day kind of dreams all the time. But I don't have like really sweet dreams and loving everybody. I don't know. I just don't have that. I have like, I'm going to work and I can't find my x-ray tube or, I just normal day kind of dreams. I don't have the really sweet dreams. So which is terrible because I actually have pink amethyst too. And I do not put that near my bed, which I really need to. So now that it's upstairs, maybe put it near my bed.
That sounds like a good plan for tonight then, Mama.
Right? Maybe I'll have a sweet dream for once.
I wouldn't put it in your pillow, though. These don't look like be that comfortable.
No. Although I know a lot of people who do that. And I don't know, maybe I move around too much, but I think I would drop them somewhere because I'm always rolling all over. I would be
Probably
terrible.
give myself a concussion in the middle of the night.
Right? Exactly. I know it's bad enough trying to keep my husband's elbow away from my head.
Oh my gosh.
Terrible.
Yeah, that's it. That's the selection I picked up. That's as much as I could fit into a carry-on without having to pay for extra baggage.
Right?
That was enough to keep me caught up at TSA for half an hour for them to search through all of our stuff. So,
oh my gosh, I know you just have to plan. Anytime you're bringing stones, you really just have to plan for extra time because they always do. They always pull me out too. Like, I look like one of those terrorist people, but I mean, they're all over, but
crystal show because I bring like one shirt, no underwear, no socks. Like
empty bags there, so I can.
I need all the room in my bag, So
absolutely,
day one at a crystal show, but day 3, not a good idea.
Happening. Yep. And I have heard too, just as a tip, when you go to one that big, that it's cheaper to just ship it home.
So we got duped. I want to say we got duped because they actually had UPS stands set up there. So we're like, well, yeah, let's just buy another thing of it, whatever. So we go up to the station and they're like, yeah, we only ship pallets of stuff.
Oh my gosh.
A box. So I know. And by that time, it was Saturday when UPS, FedEx had already closed. We're flying out Sunday. And I'm like, we really have to make this work. Like we have. We got
to stay over to Monday. That's a good tip. You got to stay over to Monday.
On the plane, like, oh.
Right?
We got to get on this flight. Let's go,
Oh, yeah. Yep, that's true. Gotta plan for a Monday for sure.
Yeah.
That's a good tip.
That's all I was able to bring back, but I brought back some lovelies in my opinion. And I know that my lighting is not the best here, but I think you guys get the idea. Like I said, if you guys are interested in any of these crystals, you can jump on Papa Squirrel's Nest on Instagram or Papa Squirrel on Facebook, or hit me up on my email, which is linked in my YouTube as well. I'll be more than happy to send you some good quality photos and videos as well.
Absolutely. Any other questions, guys? I don't know if I missed any. How'd we do? Didn't know that existed.
I know, some of these things, there was a lot there I didn't even know existed. I'm just and it's everything from the smallest little thing to stuff that's way bigger than your car.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I wasn't kidding. It's funny. You had posted that you were going to the Denver show and stuff. And I thought I could ask to look out for a couple things, but the things that I want are definitely things that most people haven't heard of. And I thought, oh, the poor thing, I'm not going to make him go around asking for these crystals that, I don't know what that is. I let it go for now. But my crystal list is extensive. And my wish list is even more extensive. As soon as, I think when I started with crystals, I thought I'm going to get one of everything. Yeah, that is not.
I'm going to have one of everything. So great. I'm
never going to happen.
With all the crystals. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's never going to happen. But, I have found favorites along the way. And then I found other ones, that don't really work for me. And then the more you get, I tell people all the time, if you're just starting with crystals, my advice is to go to a place that they have a lot of them. Go to a metaphysical shop, go to, wherever you have smoke shops. A lot of times will sell crystals. And see what you're drawn to. Ask them what it is. And I'm not kidding you. When I first started, I brought this with me. And I would sit there in the middle of the aisle and look up, what is this? And what does this do? And what do I feel like it does? And do I think this is worth it? Well, hell yeah. Or I don't really need that right now, I don't think. And the more you do that, the more information you will get.
Oh yeah. I used to like dig into like the internet, reading as much as I could, and I would have like my whole list. I'd walk into the store and be like, I need all of these things.
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah, I have that. Quartz, and Obsidian.
I'm like with a shopping cart, just like pouring everything in there. This is what I need. So
Yep. Where's the Crystal Hoarders meeting? Yep, it's at my house. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Yep. Crystal Hoarders Anonymous. That's a good idea for sure.
CHA.
That's right. That's right. All right, you guys. Well, I am so glad that everybody joined us. Make sure you click the like button that gets this video shared more and more. Make sure you go to Pappa Squirrel's website or Instagram and Facebook. The links are down below, even though the Instagram didn't show up as a link, but it must be there's a space or something in there. Figure it out. You'll be able to find it. I know if you're linked to me, I know that I tagged you and everything that I posted yesterday. So
yeah,
glad everyone was able to join us, and make sure you show up next time. We love you.
Thank you. Bye.